Welcome everyone, Farmer Cop here. This is going to be part 7 of my Maize Plus tutorial series. If this is what you're looking for, please stay tuned. Alright folks, welcome to part 7. This is my Maize Plus tutorial series. Today we're going to cover all types of silage that are available in Maize Plus when you're playing with Maize Plus. We're going to go over every type of silage available. There's 6 total types. We're going to go through all of those, how to create those in this version. We're not going to teach you in this one how to grow each of these crops that you need to grow for these silage types, just what different crops go into different silages and such like that. If you want to know how to grow these specific crops that we talk about, there should be either a previous part of the series that has already covered that, or one will be coming soon that will cover that. This is part 7 of, I believe, part 11 is probably going to be my last one, maybe 12. So we'll see. So at some point I will end up wrapping up the series, obviously, but we're going to go ahead and talk about it. So in general, there are 6 types of silage. There is whole crop silage, and this is from left to right, as you see down below. So as you see, there's a kind of a dark gray line. Above the dark gray line is all the different fill types that can be used to make those silages, which we'll go into in a second. But at the very bottom is the actual silages themselves. So from left to right, and we'll look closely at them in a second, we have whole crop silage, then we have alfalfa silage, then clover silage, then horse silage, maize silage, and then grass silage. So those are all the different types of silages that are available with Maize Plus that we're going to take a look at. So we're going to go through all of those individually and talk about the different fill types that are behind them that can be used to make those specific types. Now, before we get into that, there are 2 methods of making silage in Farming Simulator that we're going to talk about. So if we talk about that briefly, let's go down here. So one method is baling and then wrapping. So having a baling or wrapper, or you also, of course, can use, if we go in the store here, you can use a regular baler and then you just use a separate wrapper to wrap them. But this is a bale wrapper combo here. So baling and wrapping and letting them ferment, that is one method. The other method is obviously putting them into a bunker silo. So you can put a bunker silo like this, and you can put the stuff in. There are fermenting silos available for all different types of Maize Plus products that you can seek out on the mod hub. So if you wanted to just put it in there and not have to worry about covering it, compacting it, any of that sort of stuff, that's how you go about that. If you don't know how to make silage in Farming Simulator 19 in general, you should go watch my tutorial video on how to make silage in Farming Simulator, because this is, again, we're just talking about an extension to the game. This is not to teach you how to make silage. It's talking about the silage type specific to Maize Plus. That's the goal of this video. So let's go ahead and start talking about those different silage types here. So if we go over here to the very outside, so this right here, what we have in front of us, this row. So we're going to be just on the row that we're focusing on here. And there should be different words and stuff that come up on the screen to kind of help you talk about some of this, or help you kind of illustrate some of this. So down at the very bottom, we have whole crop silage, which is also known as WCS fermented. That's WCS fermented. How do you make that? There's 2 products that go into it. The first one you see there is going to be whole crop silage fresh, so WCS fresh, and then we have behind that we have crop swath. Crop swath is made from mowing down wheat, barley, oats, rye, and triticale with a mower and then collecting it. The WCS fresh is made by chopping those various crop types to get the WCS fresh. So those are different ways to get it, and that's using a forage wagon, or not a forage wagon, using a forage harvester to do the chopping, and then obviously a mower to do the mowing, and then you can either pick it up with a baler or a loading wagon. So you can make bales of all these. So the crops you can do this to is wheat, barley, oats, rye, and triticale. Those are the ones you can do this to. It doesn't work on the other crop types. That's how you make whole crop silage, which is very similar to kind of regular silage and regular in the regular version of the game, a little bit similar to that. So basically what we're going to talk about here is this: once any of those crops get to their 4th growth stage, which is, this is kind of similar to green mowing in a lot of ways. This is, once they get to their 4th growth stage, you can either chop them or mow them in order to get either the WCS fresh or crop swath. Then you can either put it into a bunker silo and ferment it, or for all of those options, not for the chopping, not for WCS fresh, but for crop swath, if you mow it on the field and it's sitting there, which makes sense, you're able to then bale it, wrap it, and let it ferment that way. So that's everything you need to know about WCS fresh as far as Maize Plus goes. So let's move on to the next one. So what we have over here in this row is we have, if I can get maybe just a little bit better of a view there, that might help out just a touch for some of you guys there. So what we have here in this row is we have alfalfa silage down at the bottom. So there are 3 different products you can make alfalfa silage out of, and you can do this with either putting them into a bunker silo or baling them. So this works for all 3 of these options. You can either bale them or put them into a bunker silo. So either bale and wrap or bunker silo. So first up there we have wet alfalfa. Then we have regular alfalfa. Then we have semi-dry alfalfa. And if you want to know the difference between those, you should watch my previous video where I talked about alfalfa and clover. That's how you can make the alfalfa silage. So let it ferment, and again, you're going to get that bottom product, which is alfalfa silage labeled down there. Now, if we continue on from there, the next up we have is clover silage, which is basically identical to alfalfa silage, except now it is clover. So this is what you're going to do with the clover silage. You can put it into a bunker or bale it and wrap it. These are all work the same for both of those. There's two different options for all these. So we have wet clover, then we have clover, then we have semi-dry clover. So again, you can do either bunker silo or bale and wrap for all of those different options to get those different selections. Now, if we go over here, this is where it gets a little bit different. Horse silage. So horse silage, you can either bale it or put it in a bunker silo. So either bale and wrap and put it in a bunker silo. There's only one product that will get you horse silage, and that is semi-dry horse grass. Regular horse grass or wet horse grass, like clover or alfalfa, it will not get you horse silage. It will get you regular grass silage, which we will talk about when we get there in a second. It'll just get you regular grass silage. So in order to get horse silage, you have to use semi-dry horse grass and then ferment it from there. So that's everything you need to know about horse silage. We haven't talked about how to grow horse grass or any of that yet on this series, but that will be coming in the future. Then if we continue over here to our next type of silage, we have maize silage or corn silage. So this cannot be baled, which is my understanding. I could be wrong about that, but I don't believe it can be baled. If you put it in a bunker silo, you can, again, it's what you're going to do to get it is you're going to take corn, which is on a field, and chop it like you would with a forage chopper in the regular base game, but you're going to get fresh maize, which is what you're going to get, which is that crop type you're going to see up there on the ground. It's fresh maize. You're going to take fresh maize, put it into a bunker silo, and cover it and let it ferment into maize silage. That's how you're going to get that. Now, if we go over here to our last category, this is grass silage, which is one of the most common ones that you might be using. So let's talk about that for a second. So you can either put any of these products into a bunker or into a baler and wrap them. So first up, we have grass, regular old grass. Then we have semi-dry grass. Then we have wet horse grass. Then we have horse grass. So those are the four different options that are on there. It does not work with wet grass. It does not work as far as I can tell reading the guides. And what I know about Maize Plus is it won't work for wet grass. You have to have at least regular grass. So it has to be a little bit further dry along the cycle. And if you want to know about how to do all that stuff, again, we've talked about grass in a previous episode in this series, or a previous part to this tutorial. Now that we know everything we need to know as far as all of these different silage types go, as far as how to get there from different crop types, different products, and such like that, what do we do with them? Well, first up and most common is probably just selling them. You can go in here. If we go down further, let's see here. WCS fermented, whole crop silage fermented. You can sell it. Then if we keep going down this way a little bit further, we have alfalfa silage, which can be sold. We have clover silage, which can be sold. If we keep going down here, we have horse silage, which can be sold. So there's different types of silages in here that can be sold. We have silage we have maize silage right there, which can be sold. Grass silage. And then also here's another thing we'll talk about briefly. See how this says silage grass? That's grass silage, silage grass. What silage grass is, and this is the same thing with like silage clover or silage alfalfa. It's not clover silage or alfalfa silage. These different silage clover where you see silage at the beginning. What that is when you take any of these products that you would for making, let's say we take regular grass and put it into here. Once we dump it into the bunker silo, it changes fill types. It becomes silage grass. And then after it ferments, it becomes grass silage. So that's just kind of an intermediate fill type, which if you did dump it into here and then pick it up out of the bunker silo, you then could sell it as that product. So if you need to do that for some reason, you can do that, but it is available. You usually can sell most of these products on any map. Now, what is the other thing you can do with it? Well, what you can do with it is you can feed it to animals. So if we go into our animal pens here, we have various animal pens that are going to take various of these products. So if we actually go into our menu and go into here, let's take a look at some of this. So if we look at sheep, go over to sheep here, they're going to take grass silage and clover silage. So those are two different types of silage, as well as they take grass silage for this category here. So there's different silages you can see in their ability here. Now, if we go to pigs, pigs will take clover silage in this category here. That's about all I see for pigs on that one. Then if we go down to cows, they will take maize silage, grass silage, or WCS fermented. Or down here, they'll take clover and alfalfa silage for that category there. So lots of silages there. Chickens, not going to take any silage, but hey, worth a shot looking at them. Horse silage will be obviously fed to horses, so that makes sense. So it's in there. So those are the different options. That's why those different options are there, so you can use those as different food types for your animals. Anyways, I hope I covered everything. I could have made some mistakes, just be aware of that. So that should be in general a pretty good guide to all the different silage types on Maize Plus. So hopefully this video helps you out. If you did enjoy this video, drop a like down below. If you had or if you haven't subscribed already to the channel, join the Farmer Cup channel, feel free to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any future tutorials or helpful guides about the game or any mods in the game. But yeah, hopefully this guy's helped you out a little bit. We will continue on in part 8 with our Maize Plus tutorial series. So I'll see you guys on the next one.